Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video, I thought we would go back and revisit the NECA Hellraiser Series 2 Collect and Connect Pillar of Souls. The original video of Pillar of Souls was aired here on YouTube on April 20th, 2013. Let's go ahead and get some dimensions going for the Pillar of Souls. Pillar of Souls stands exactly at 9 inches tall. And if you look at, give or take, one of the sides, it ranges from 4 to 4.5 inches wide. The initial Collect and Connect end of it was the fact that Series 2, and really actually Series 3 as well, had build components, where each of the figures from the Hellraiser line came with their own respected pieces. And actually Series 1 did come with that too, because it came with the puzzle box. Series 2 was the Pillar of Souls, and Series 3 was the Leviathan kind of diamond configuration shape. Needless to say, though, all of the figures from Series 2 each came with a part of the Pillar of Souls here. A bottom, a top, and of course your respected sides. The finished piece, it looks absolutely glorious. It's something that I think very few companies would entertain now, a venture into giving us something like this that we could build. And it is a little bit more non-child friendly, I would say, is a description I could use for the Pillar of Souls here. It is substantially heavy. I mean, it's not a brick of lead or anything like that, but somehow the plastic components that all came together to make this Pillar of Souls ends up making for a fairly heavy piece. It is essentially hollow, because really, if you think about it, the sides are only coming together at the top and the bottom. But it actually, despite that, the weight of it may lead you to believe that it is a solid piece rather than it being hollow. And I guess tapping it's not really much the indication, but it does probably have a little bit more of the hollow sound than it does have the hollow feel. So yes, the Pillar of Souls is, well, taken from Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. One of the cooler aspects for the Hellraiser 3 movie, not one of personal favorites of many fans. But it did introduce us to the Pillar of Souls and eventually how Pinhead would find his way back into the real world. There you have Pinhead way up at the top there of the pillar. And it's weird that in the movie, like his pins seem to sit a little more flatter rather than jutting outward. Luckily enough, the Pillar of Souls here in my collection, despite the fact that I bagged this away many, many years ago, despite that, the pins have, I think, held up pretty good. A couple of the pins are bent, like there's one right on the bridge of his nose that is slightly bent. But other than that, all the other pins have still stayed pretty good. I like that they painted in his white eyes, the eyeballs that is, so you can see his eyes sticking out amongst basically the coloring here of, like, I don't know what you would describe it, like not a bronze, but kind of like a brownish. Well, there's a lot of nice accent areas of green. Gives it that look that it's aged. But there's Pinhead's face. You can't really do anything with it. There's no posability or anything like that to it. That's not really the intent of this Collect and Connect piece, or build a figure piece if you want to look at it that way. But there's really a lot to look at here. Just a towering pile of bodies, mutilated corpses, like irregularly designed and shaped characters that perhaps were all human to start off with, have now though been disfigured. Little nice corner accents here too on the corner pieces of the Pillar of Souls, where you can see like the different faces. Some of them look like they might be characters from the actual movie. Like, for example, that kind of looks like Frank at the top there. And again, some of them might be a little bit more easier to recognize than others. I don't know if there was an intent there that these characters were to represent characters that maybe necessarily appeared in the movie. Both the top part as well as the bottom part are fully sculpted. So even like the bottom half, if you think of Pinhead kind of like being the part that defines whether he's upside down or not, this being now, I guess, the bottom based on that being the Pinhead's head, you can see again, like they've sculpted the bottom. Like it's something that they could have just easily left off, but it's got this glorious goldish kind of brown color and then it's got this oxidized or green little wash that's been added to it that shows all these little cracks. Beautiful, beautiful looking paint job on this. Again, there's not really a lot of paint. Most of it is this brownish kind of color. It's only really like the greens that really shine, like the overall sculpt here. Again, we got some faces going on the side. There's a skeleton, and again, all of them are different from one another. I mean, they really did a top-notch job of just bringing out some super cool details. There is a female character, and again, like, you could spend a lot of time looking at this. There's all these little back sections of, looks like it's either females or they're actually just bones. And there's one tortured soul there. Again, some screaming faces and some teeth showing there as well. And you got a couple of characters that are kind of just through being in hell have just been mutilated and tortured. You see like these two faces kind of just being stretched and pulled together. Like, it's, again, such a beautiful looking piece. For a split second, a very, very split second, I considered actually selling these. I still have, I think, Series 1, Series 2, and Series 3 figures, which I might actually consider going back and re-reviewing in future videos. But I'm actually glad I held on to the Pillar of Souls. I might not even have the puzzle box anymore, but that's okay, because I mean, I have enough puzzle boxes that's not a big thing that I'm going to miss out on. I certainly would have missed out, though, if I had maybe sold this. You could probably find this, I would think, maybe on eBay, fully built. If not, if you wanted to build this for yourself, you would have to then have picked up all the NECA Hellraiser Series 3 figures, and then you would have had to put this together yourself. If you want to look at the original video, you could go back to, again, April 20th, 2013, where I actually had all the components all laid out on a black backdrop, but still I had it all laid out, and I actually put these all together. I thought it was a fair time. I mean, some time has passed, 4 years really. 4 years have passed, and I thought it was prime time to go back and have a look at one of my favorite collectibles from a line of figures that I think really did a service to Hellraiser. I don't think it would ever see a light of day again where you would find Hellraiser figures making appearances once again, as I don't think that's a property that really many toy companies would venture into doing again. But, you know, if you did luck out like myself and you were able to pick these up initially, boy oh boy, NECA did one fantastic job when it came to all the NECA, all the Hellraiser figures, and especially giving us added bonuses by having collect and connect pieces that you could build something such as the Pillar of Souls here. Today, once again, we were revisiting. This was the NECA Hellraiser Series 3 Pillar of Souls, as seen in Hellraiser 3 Hell on Earth. If you like this video, certainly would appreciate it. Hit it with a like. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe to this channel, hit that little subscribe button down below. You won't miss a beat when it comes to future videos, and also when I go back and revisit older stuff as well. And I have to be honest here, I kind of like going back and looking at some of my older figures, because it kind of brings back some of the love that I had for initial pieces like this. I haven't seen this for, I think, a couple of years now. I've had this bagged away, put away in a tote, and now getting this out in hand, I just really think, wow, that's just such a beautiful looking piece. It brings me back to times when I loved collecting, and I really like building, putting stuff together. And this is one of my favorite put together pieces, the Pillar of Souls. As always, guys, thanks for watching, as you always do. I really certainly appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time.